Hi. I work at a health food store. If you don't know what a health food store is, we pretty much just sell three things. We sell kombucha, salt lamps, and lies. I don't know about this city, but where I come from, Victoria, people eat that shit up. Business is booming. It's crazy. I'm trying to be a better employee. Customers make it so difficult. It's crazy. Like, I was putting out kale the other day, and this customer came up to me, and she was like, "You're putting those out with your hands?" I was like, "What?" "Yeah, everything you see I put out with these hands." Like, hands have been the leading technology of putting out for millions of years. That's what I said with my eyes. What I actually said was, "Yeah, I just washed my hands." And she was like, "Hands are hard to wash." Nope. Hands are actually the easiest thing to wash of all time, because while your left hand is washing your right hand is washing your left hand. It's synergy. In fact, if you're washing anything, you're also washing your hands. Hands are not hard to wash. Do you know what's hard to wash? The inside of a tent. That's fucking hard to wash. I've never had to pull out the vacuum just to wash my hands. I've never had to call over a friend and be like, "Hey, can you help me wash my hands?" I've never had to turn my hands inside out and leave them to dry in the sun. And then she held up the kale, and she was like, "This kale is too big." What do you want me to do with that information? There's nobody to tell. I did what anybody in here would do. I tried to gently squeeze the kale into the bag. And she was like, "You can't squeeze kale." And I was like, "Bitch. If there's one thing in this entire world I know, it's kale. You can squeeze it all day long. It's half the fucking recipe." I've taken kale, put it in a blender, blended it, opened up the top, and it still looked like kale. That shit's gonna be fine. That was the meanest 12-year-old girl I've ever dealt with. I'm married, and a few months ago, me and my wife, we went to Hawaii to have like a tropical fuck fest, you know? Like a Pearl Harbor sexpedition, if you will. Day one, though, we got badly sunburnt. I don't know if you know this, but their sun is way stronger than our sun. I thought it's the same sun, it's a different sun. Our sun here is like, "Hey there, buddy, you might want to wear some sunscreen, I'll get you." Their son's like, "You have 5 minutes before I fuck you up." Mahalo, bitch. So we're trying to be romantic. Trying to be romantic as these two stinging red tomatoes. It's not romantic. It's not romantic when your foreplay is applying aloe vera. Like, "Oh yeah, you like that? You like that when my touch feels like a million bee stings? Oh yeah, you're so fucking sticky for me right now." I'm running. We had to have a lot of shower sex. Because it's cool, I guess. But I come from the opinion that you should only have shower sex once in a while. Because you never want shower sex to become boring. Like, day one, you're like, "Yeah, I get to wash some titties." Day two, you're like, "Yeah, I'll wash a tit or two." But by the third day, you're like, "These titties, I thought I washed these." Somebody needs to take better care of their titties. So, Sorry. I have a friend, and he's afraid to eat bananas in public because they're phallic. Not me. I'll eat a banana anywhere. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'll eat a banana on a bus. I'm reckless. I'm audacious. I can't be stopped. So I'm not afraid to send a message that if you put a dick near my face, uninvited, I'll chomp it. Chomp, chomp, chomp. I will fuck your dick up, okay? You don't know who you're messing with. I'm crazy. Last night, 10 p.m., I made granola. With no oats. Yeah, it was straight nuts. But come at me, okay? I know what I look like. I know I look meek. I know I look like a human meerkat. I know I look like both characters from Ratatouille. I understand. But I'm feisty. I'm like salsa. Mi maxi mucho picante. So don't fuck with me. I used to get in fights in the scariest place. Bible camp. It's the scariest place because you don't know which side Jesus is on. It wasn't much of a fight. It was more like one punch. That's all I needed. It's a new line. Did not work. I also have a small child. I have a 2-year-old son. And it's pretty cool being a dad. I love it. But sometimes it's scary. Like recently, my son put a bag on his head. And I had to like rip it off of him. But then he started like crying and bawling and he looked so sad. I almost put the bag back on. I was like, no, this is for your future. That's what you gotta do. I also like to smoke weed. But I don't like to smoke weed around my son, you know, obviously. I don't want him seeing his dad having more fun than him. But one time I got super baked and I watched my son. We had a great time. We watched Incredibles 2 and ate 7 bananas together. The craziest thing happened that day. My son said his first word. He looked up at me. He was like, Dada, no matter what you believe in, feeling God, science, or the universe, you have to believe that something came out of nothing. I was like, wow. Somebody can't handle their weed. As you can probably tell, I am circumcised. It's true fact. When we found out we were going to have a boy, we had to decide if we're going to, keep it in the family. So me and my wife, we did a bunch of research. We read all the blogs. And it turns out the only reason that people still do it now is that fathers want their sons' dicks to look like theirs. That's weird, right? I don't know, maybe there's a few dudes in the back who are closer with their dad. But I've never once compared dicks to my dad. Like, hey, Dad, come on. Whip it out. Look, same. Fuck yeah, let's go fish. But the main reason why we didn't circumcise my son is because it cost $500. Yeah, that's too much money for us. They didn't take us aside in planning class and be like, hey, you might want to set a little bit of money aside just in case you need to cut a dick or two. When my son was born, it was a pretty intense labor. It was like 39 hours. Yeah, it was long. Longer for my wife, but felt pretty long for me too. And several times during the labor, my son's umbilical cord was wrapped around him, and his heart rate dropped, and it was really scary. And the doctors had to go in and rotate my son, but they didn't have any tools. They had to use their hands. And I looked the doctor straight in their eyes, and I'm like, you're gonna use your hands? Hands are hard to wash. That's my time, guys. You guys have been great. Thank you very much.